Dr. Rashad Ritchie from Atlanta, Georgia. He does a talk show on radio, 7 to 10, on News Talk 1380 WAOK. He's voted best talk show host in Atlanta. And he's not a crazy left-wing bomb thrower. He's more of an analytical guy.
Do you agree or disagree with the George Floyd Policing and Accountability Act?
I totally disagree because, as we all know, George Floyd was a black, unemployed drug addict with a criminal record. And I just
okay. Let's first of all, let's clear something up, sir. You really should be ashamed of yourself. George Floyd is dead.
It's his fault.
He's dead because a cop killed him.
No, now, he's dead because he was a drug addict.
Okay, let's talk about Black Lives Matter. This is probably going to end up being an utter waste of my time having you on the show. What are your thoughts about
you
Black
don't know
Lives
that.
Matter?
You may learn something.
We'll see, preacher. What is it about Black Lives Matter that you disagree with fundamentally?
Black Lives Matter was founded by a bunch of fat, black, radical lesbians.
Okay.
And who
All
hate
right, have
God.
A good, get this clown off my show. I appreciate you.
Who hate God, who hate the nuclear family.
Yeah. Listen, for those of you who wanted me to continue to engage that clown on this show, I'm sorry, I just couldn't do it. I'm only a human being.
So I was invited on this show. It was by a guy, and I never heard of this person before. Rashad Ritchie show. It was on the Young Turks Network. And the show was called Indisputable.
I want to remind everyone that everything we do on Indisputable is aimed at one agenda, and that is to highlight truth. Now, sometimes that truth is difficult to accept. Now, we're not partisan, and we really don't care what political party or affiliation you subscribe to. What we care about is the fact that you care about the ultimate truth. Jesse damn Smollett. Yeah. You see, we traffic in truth on Indisputable. And here's the truth. Jesse lied, the judge was dishonorable, and the justice system was biased. All of those truths coexist. Let me first highlight the reality of how we got to this point. Let's put up a picture of the elected prosecutor who initially had this case. Her name is Kim Foxx. Keep her picture up, all right? Now, Miss Foxx was the prosecutor. She was elected by the people to prosecute cases. She has discretion. It's called prosecutorial discretion. She can say, for this offense, I'm not willing to waste precious resources to prosecute the case, or I can engage in something called alternative prosecution. All allowable, all of that is done on a daily basis by prosecutors around this country. In 2019, the elected prosecutor said, I am not wasting resources prosecuting this case. Then something else happened, something that many of us were unaware even existed. A judge said, state's attorney, I don't think that's proper. And as a judge, I'm going to order a special prosecutor investigate this case, and by extension, investigate you.
Bullshitter alert. Bullshitter alert.
It's a stunner, the decision to drop charges against Jesse Smollett, and now a call for an investigation into that decision, a call made by none other than State's Attorney Kim Foxx. It was her office who made the decision to drop the charges.
You see, we traffic in truth on Indisputable, and here's the truth.
Initially, of course, Kim Foxx recused herself from the Jesse Smollett case altogether, but now she's the one calling for outside review. Foxx calling on the Cook County Inspector General to look into her handling of the case, saying in a statement, ensuring that I and my office have the community's trust and confidence is paramount to me. which is why I invited an independent review of this matter.
Immediately after this case was resolved, I said that I welcomed a non-political review of how our office handled the case. I called for, back in April, for the Inspector General to come in and look at our office in the handling of that case from top to bottom.
Have you ever seen a judge take the authority away from an elected prosecutor? No, they allowed the prosecutorial discretion to remain.
In a 60-page report, Special Prosecutor Dan Webb says Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx misled the public, violated legal ethics, and failed to be honest in handling the Jussie Smollett case. Revealing new details, including after Foxx learned that Smollett was being investigated by police, she continued to have contact with Smollett's sister, Journey, for several days.
You see, we traffic in truth on Indisputable, and here's the truth.
Judge Tooman, when he appointed me, said the reason he was appointing me was to restore the public's confidence in the judicial system. He said that because at that point it appeared like we had two different systems of justice, one for the ordinary person and the other for more privileged people like Mr. Smollett.
This outcome is not an outlier to similarly situated cases.
Not true.
And the statute says that the maximum that we're allowed to get for restitution is $10,000.
False.
This was an outcome that was not unexpected.
Wrong.
The Class 4 felony and no background are an outcome that we could expect with this type of case.
Another lie.
Judge James Lynn handed down sentencing. The judge said, and I quote, "You will spend the first 150 days of your sentence in the Cook County Jail, and that will start today, right here, right now." Now, let me remind you, Jussie Smollett is convicted of a Class 4 felony. It is a low-grade felony. Most people do not get actual jail time for a Class 4 felony. They get a probated sentence.
Now that he's compounded his wrongdoing by lying to a jury, which they've obviously determined from the verdict today, he's compounded his misconduct in this city, and we'll let the judge decide what to do.
Is that he compounded the harm that he did to himself and everybody else by taking the witness stand and lying. So I think that the judge should consider that when he's deciding what appropriate sentence he should dole out.
That statement read to me, compounding it, as if had he not taken the stand, then perhaps he could have been facing probation or some lesser charges. But because he took the stand and essentially perjured himself, possibly, that he could actually see jail time. So do you think he'll see jail time, and do you think him taking the stand has something to do with that?
What I think he should be punished for is, number one, wasting thousands of hours of precious law enforcement resources, having them deal with his fraud. Challenge all of you to come up with a set of facts for disorderly conduct for which he's charged that are worse than what he's done.
You got on the witness stand, the judge said. You didn't have to, but you did. You certainly had the right to. You have the constitutional right to. But you committed hour upon hour of perjury. That's what the judge said. That judge is being dishonorable in that moment because perjury has to be proven. That's like the judge saying you committed murder when you've only been convicted of a traffic violation.
This guy doesn't seem to get it. His ego is not his amigo. He's so arrogant and doesn't accept his guilt, and worse, thumbs his nose at the system. Judge, if there's ever someone who needs prison time, it's this guy.
I'm the gay Tupac.
He called himself the gay Tupac.
I gotta go. That's it. I gotta go. I gotta go.
Or
the gay Tupac. This nigga don't rap. How could you, nigga? You don't even rap. How you the gay Tupac?
Right. He doesn't make music though. I think he sings, right?
Listen.
Okay.
I want to be the black male Barbra Streisand.
I'm sorry.